don't get to taste the exotic cuisines that come from the countries these ambassadors represent. Welcome to Diplomatic Plates. I'm Barbara Harrison. Today, we visit the residences of Mexico, Morocco, and we begin at the gorgeous residence of the ambassador of Brazil.
Seja bem-vinda.
Thank you.
De nada.
Ambassador Vieira.
Oh,
Hi, nice
welcome to the Brazilian Embassy. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Ambassador Mauro Vieira welcomed us to Brazil's palatial residence, designed with its magnificent staircase in the manner of the 16th century Italian Renaissance.
This is a very nice place, and we were lucky to buy it for the residence of the Brazilian ambassador in the 30s, a long time ago. This was the residence of the McCormick family, and the house, the architect of the house is a very famous architect, John Russell Pope.
Oh yes,
who was also the architect of the Jefferson Memorial and also of the National Gallery.
The residence is home to an impressive collection of Brazilian art. What a beautiful room.
Well, this is the main reception room, and here the works of art are all Brazilian. Over the fireplace is a very important painter, Di Cavalcanti. These flowers, they were painted by a very, very important Brazilian artist named Portinari. Those are silver candlesticks, they were all Brazilian, 19th century.
He says silver was one of the most exploited of Brazil's precious natural resources, but there are many others still in abundance.
Silver, gold, diamonds, precious stones in general.
Besides its vast mineral deposits, Brazil is endowed with rich agricultural resources. It's the top producer of coffee in the entire world. Brazil has bragging rights as the largest country in South America. It's the 5th largest in the world. It boasts a coastline nearly 5,000 miles long. Tourists from around the world flock to its famous beaches, especially those in Rio de Janeiro, where the mountains kiss the shore.
It's a very special landscape with big mountains and the beaches.
And the soaring economy of this diverse nation has made Sao Paulo one of the largest cities in the world.
Brazil and the United States have very long and traditional relations. Brazil became an independent country in 1822, and the United States was the first country to recognize the independence of Brazil. We are very proud of our country. We are very proud of our hospitality. Brazilians are very happy. We like music. We like to dance and to sing.
He says Brazilians are a diverse population. The country was colonized by the Portuguese in the 15th century.
We have a lot of cultural mixture. We have a very important African inheritance in Brazil. It's an important heritage, and we also have natives, the Indians, who lived in the country when the Portuguese colonizers arrived, and we also have the influence of all those different cultures in our food, for instance, in our cuisine.
So to the kitchen we go to sample one example of the diversity of Brazil's cuisine.
Okay, Barbara, let's come here. Let me introduce you to our chef. This is Gabriel Aubouin. He's French, but he's been working with us for such a long time.
And we're going to make something Brazilian today, huh? What is it called?
We are making today a bobó de camarão. You know what this is?
Yuca?
This is yuca, and this is the base, the main ingredient for the dish Gabriel is cooking for you today.
Barbara, this is my assistant, Lucia Mato.
Lucia, nice to meet you. Okay.
Today we are going to do the bobo de camarón recipe from Bahia. What we need: fresh yuca, green onion, green pepper, fresh shrimps with the skin, tomatoes, coco de leche.
What is this?
Coco de leche, coconut milk.
3 tomatoes are seeded and chopped. as are 4 garlic cloves, 1 white onion, 1 green pepper, 1/4 cup of green onion, and 1/2 cup of cilantro or parsley. And then there's a very important ingredient.
Aceite de dende is oil of palm. We build the yuca until all color of pink is gone.
3 yuca are peeled and cut into small pieces. The yuca is boiled in water like potatoes. Meanwhile, the shells from the shrimp are boiled to make a stock. He pours off the broth made of the shrimp shells.
We let reduce a little bit. 5-10 minutes. A little bit of olive oil.
In another pan, he coats the bottom with olive oil and adds the onions. 1/2 cup of chopped onions, about a tablespoon of garlic. To that, he adds the chopped tomatoes, the green onions, green pepper, and 1/2 of the cilantro or parsley. As that cooks, he adds pepper and salt, and then about 1.5 cups of the shrimp stock.
We let cook for 10 minutes. After you boil it for 10 minutes, you go to the blender, okay?
It's blended at top speed to liquefy, then poured back into the pan, and 1.5 pounds of shrimp is added.
You cook it for 5 minutes. In the meantime, my sous chef is preparing the yuca. You remember we diced the yuca? Now it's cooked, okay?
Oh.
But the very important things, remember, never use to make that puree, never use a food processor.
Chef Gabby stresses that the yuca must always be mashed by hand. Lucia mashes it and then adds 2 half-cup packages of very thick coconut milk.
Leite de coco from Brazil.
About how long does this usually take?
15 minutes.
Wow. And you never, ever use a food processor?
No. So you imagine when we cook it for 200 people, it takes a long time.
Yeah. When the mashing is complete, the shrimp and its sauce are poured into the pan with the yuca, and it's all mixed together.
The most important to give the last taste of Brazilian taste is to put the oil of dende.
He adds about 1.5 tablespoons of the dende, or oil of palm. It's a favorite in the Bahia region of Brazil, but its origins are actually West Africa. The oil has a rich aroma and is bright orange in color.
That's the dende, and that's the touch of Bahia.
After simmering about 10 minutes, it thickens more, and it's ready to be garnished with the cilantro or parsley.
I hope you like it. This is bobo.
In Brazil, he said, the boboa de camarão is always served with white rice.
This is a very typical, very traditional dish, and I hope you enjoy it. And you'll tell me afterwards.
Oh. How do you say delicious?
Delicioso. So I'm very glad you like it, and I hope you can come back and try some other time different dishes.